And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another day, another edition of a CranKy Duckling broadcast. Hello, welcome, one and all. I'm, of course, your side VIP. With me, I'm joined by these amazing players, by the people in the chat, by my plushies as well. Whew. And it's been a long day. We got, what, 2 hours sleep, I want to say? Like 2 hours of sleep, but we're here. We are back. We are good to go. Of course, we just wrapped up with the Little League Cup earlier today, and now we're back. We're back, and we're ready to keep on going. Let's go, Bobby. Let's go with something special with the Enki Christmas Invitational. Here we go. For those that are curious, shout out to Enki, by the way. Enki, he is a Spanish caster. He's a Spanish content creator, good friend of the channel. Enki el hermoso, Papi el hermoso. And he actually did host a Christmas Invitational not too long ago. Did host it himself, did invite these amazing players, of course, and he did cast in Spanish, but there was no English cast. At the time, I think it was, at the time, we weren't quite available. Of course, the schedule's been quite busy, but he has since shared replays to cover these matches and to go over these series here. And just for some greater context, let's have a look at the bracket itself. Let's go. Let us go. So again, these matches have not been cast in English, only in Spanish, and we have these 4 invited players here. A small bracket, but a spicy bracket. We have Zoun versus GuMiho, we have Bjorn versus Shin, 2 Terrans, 1 Protoss, 1 Zerg, all jumping into the ring in this single elimination best of 5 format. Let's go. Best of 5s here in the initial rounds, and I believe a best of 7 towards the end. Oh boy. So we do have our matches up ahead of us. We do have our series, and let's dive in. Let's dive in here and now. Likewise, when it comes to Enki, he has also given us, he hosted a show match last week. We haven't quite caught up with it yet, but he did host a best of 9 show match last week, and we will be jumping on that as well, probably next week, to catch up on some of these matches, to catch up on everything that has been going on in StarCraft. There's some other events that we're going to be covering as well. We spoke about this in the podcast, but we have the Warcraft 3 Evo tournament, which I don't know what we're going to step into, but that's going to be next week as well. And yeah, we're going to be able to just fill up the rest of January and catch up on events that we otherwise haven't been able to because of Master Colosseum, because of Little League Cup. We have to cast everything, as always, here on the CranKy Ducklings. As always, Papi, as always. Otherwise, I hope you've all been enjoying yourselves. Hope you're all ready for a night of StarCraft, and we are jumping on in to our first series of the night, to Zoun versus GuMiho. Let's go. Jumping into game 1, gonna be on ley lines. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of ley lines, we have the South Korean Terran player, the blue Terran. It is GuMiho, the reigning Home Story Cup champion. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the red Protoss, fresh from the military. It is Zoun. Here we go. Catching up. Thanks to the effort for streaming. Thank you, Papi. Thank you. I do appreciate it. It's been an intense month. It's been intense, Papi. Intense. January has just been so busy for us, so busy. And it continues. We're almost done though. We've almost made it to the end of January. Little League Cup is wrapping up. The rest of the other major events are wrapping up, which means we can finally slow things down at least a little bit coming into February. I look forward to it. Do look forward to it. Until then, full steam ahead. we don't stop, man. We don't stop. Hello, Pecueta. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? GuMiho. Exactly. He is a 2-time Home Story Cup champion. You're not wrong. It's true. Hello, Gary. Hello. ¿Qué tal? ¿Qué tal? Good to see you. We're settling into ley lines. And first things first, GuMiho opening up a double gas. Double gas opener here by GuMiho. Of course, we just recently casted GuMiho versus Skillus in Little League Cup. I do recommend the VODs. And again, that event, when it came to at least GuMiho's performance, he has been struggling. He has been struggling in TvP, whether it comes down to that series against Skillus, or when it comes down to a series against Classic as well, and against Trigger. Specifically in this matchup, GuMiho has been having a bit of a harder time, but has been having still some very entertaining games. At some point, I'm sure we're going to be seeing some mech in this series. I look forward to it. Not every game, but at some point, I'm sure. Go. So here we are settling in. And for now, we have our double gas. Again, double gas into a faster factory into a delayed CC from the side of GuMiho. Meanwhile, standard over here by Zoun is going to be settling in to his own setup here. We have our Stalker being chronoed. We have charge. We have Warp Gate on the way. And we'll see where GuMiho goes from here. From this moment, we could see this lead into Reactor Reaper Hellion. This can lead into Widowmine drops, can lead into more committed tech, into earlier tank drop as well. We'll see how aggressive GuMiho is going to be, and we expect some form of aggression here. Do you expect it? Back at home, Zoun settling in. Going to be the tech of choice, going for the Twilight Council here. Twilight Council on the low ground, not in the main. We'll see if he can keep it hidden. See if he can keep it safe. GuMiho dipping in with his Reapers. Does dip in. But now going to be zoned away. Oh, I say that he goes for the dive, and he will confirm. So GuMiho, he does get eyes on the Twilight Council, is fully aware. Diving further into the main, nothing quite to be found here, but regardless, should be feeling pretty good about his scout. Is now fully aware of the tech of choice, is where there's no Star gameplay, no Oracles, no Phoenixes, no Robo, all about those Blink Stalkers. So GuMiho does have confirmation. The Reaper won't get out, but again, got what he wanted, got the Scatter. As Blink is being researched behind this, GuMiho going for a second Rax before the starport into a third Rax. This screams 2-base all in. Oh god, this screams 2-base all in. Basically, in the process of delaying your starport and delaying medevacs, what do? We prioritize marine production, the stim, combat shields, upgrades here in favor of a 2-base push. This is going to hit like a truck. As you stated previously, this is borderline 2-base all in. I say borderline because we could see GuMiho, of course, get a starport and throw down a third CC afterwards. Regardless, it's going to be a very committed move out, and he will have the opportunity to pull the boys. He could pull the boys with this if he so chooses to. Down those plates, and I believe he won't be pulling the boys. I think with this he should be going for a later eBay into later +1. I believe the all-in variation of this is to go for an earlier eBay into a +1 timing alongside stim and combat shields. As GuMiho is moving out ahead of time here, hoping to catch a straight unit. Likewise, back at home, safe opener by Zoun. We have 2 gateways to the natural, we have 1 gateway to the main, so 3-gate blink into a delayed third base. Just to be safe, just to be secure. See GuMiho trying to catch out any early units. As he does rotate. Getting in position. Tanks will siege. Up. Zoning back down. Zoun is going to be zoned away. Behind this, immortal production has begun. Zoun rotating. And no major connections yet. Major for the time being. Up. Zoun looking for he's like inching closer, looking for a way in. Doesn't quite find it. Doesn't quite find it. Poking, prodding. Likewise, observer gets spotted, and a couple of boys are being pulled, but not all of them here. Up. Which means again, GuMiho, we can throw down a CC behind this. Again, we did expect commitment when it came to this move out. And GuMiho is sending it. At the same time, Zoun going for a counterattack, trying to force GuMiho back home. It's time to reinforce. Picks up a Marine, going for the SCVs. Good damage here by Zoun. What's the setup looking like? He has force fields. He needs those force fields to recall back home. 1 Stalker does fall. GuMiho rotating up towards the natural. Zoun trying to get in position. Again, there's 3 tanks outside this. One of them does siege. Yeah, they're getting closer within range of the wall. They're getting within range. And so far, Zoun just biding his time, warping in more reinforcements. The 4th tank has arrived, and pushing into 4 tanks not going to be easy. And on top of that, GuMiho, so he's getting on top of that Robo. Is getting there. Charges done, dives on the army, takes down the 1st tank, gets 1, gets 2. He's going to get all 4. What about the Bio? What about the Marines? Stim is brutal. And GuMiho is pushing in. He's going for the kill. Takes down the Immortal. And GuMiho looks like he may have just done. I say that he's running out of steam. He's running out of Marines. Running out of Bio. is killing some probes, but Zoun is on 3 bases. He can't afford to lose them. There we go, boys being pulled away. 13 probes going down. That is some brutal damage. And it looks like Zoun should be able to hold on. Oh, I say that. Immortal does fall. He will clean this up. Oh, getting 16. 16 probes towards the end. Whew. And Zoun holds. Zoun holds. He survives, but is he really living here? He's down to 34 probes. He's down 10 workers. Behind this, GuMiho is expanding. He's got his tanks on the high ground. He has 3 tanks. Jesus. He's ready. GuMiho pulling back. And Zoun likewise pulls back as well. And from this kind of game state, we're in a really weird state here. I mean, I want to give GuMiho the edge. He did do a lot of damage. Likewise, Starport is now done. Medevacs are on the way, so he can go for drop play. He can try to pull Zoun apart. Can go for it. GuMiho is going for his drop. Zoun poking in. Up. Does poke in. Threatening the army. I believe Zoun, he did miss the double drop. Back at home, nothing quite in position. There's an army at the 3rd base, but the main base is exposed. GuMiho, where we dropping? Zoun being active. Boosting in. Does go for the mineral line. Tanks will siege. Zoun is somewhat in position. And does force to pick up. Dropping towards the main. Zoun forced to recall. And GuMiho gets a handful of probes, nothing major. Pulling back, dropping back over towards that 3rd. And GuMiho does him in, takes down the Immortal. Takes down an Immortal and gonna try to get the hell out of here. We'll lose a tank. The tank goes down in the process. Nice pick off here from Zoun. Does punish GuMiho, trading 1 for 1, tank for Immortal. I'd still say a better trade for GuMiho, as long as he doesn't lose too much here, as long as he gets out. That's a big if, though. As he's going to be trapped. Behind this, GuMiho building up, getting his 3rd CC. Maintaining his economy. Zoun, still no 4th base. GuMiho is getting ahead. Is getting further ahead. As Zoun just now starts a 4th. And Zoun is otherwise distracted. I mean, he needs to commit here to the drop. First Colossus has arrived. GuMiho, he's had enough waiting. He's had enough. Oh, okay, opening things up. Mine drop here towards the natural. Mine drop's going off. Get 3 workers. Did I say 3 getting updated? Oh my god! And GuMiho comes in from behind, takes down 14 probes. And he can free this drop. Or he has. So when he comes in at the same time as the run by, GuMiho is ready back at home. Shuts down the run by. 14 probe kills. And Zoun is just having a hard time recovering here from the initial all-in, or from the initial commitment. He comes back. Oh, oof. Did get a little bit too greedy though. Medevacs go down, and Zoun will clean up the double drop. Drop finally gets cleaned up. Whew. But last Zoun, he's still behind in the economy, still trying to catch up with that 4th base. Getting ready for, what, wave number 3. Building up more Marauders, getting into 2-2 upgrades. There is an Observer trying to keep tabs on this. And Zoun, he will spot the army. Does spot the move out. Attempted move out. 4 CCs on the way for GuMiho. As Zoun spots the army, he's getting ready for a Zealot run by. He's getting ready for it. There's no bunker back at home. There is potential. Likewise, Zoun poking in. Oh. Catches a Viking. Not bad. Viking goes down. Disruptors are building up. And here come those Zealots. Yeah, as GuMiho moves out, Zoun moves in. Takes down a handful of SCVs. Going for the sensor turret as well. Oh. Zoun trying to punish GuMiho, trying to force him back home. And GuMiho is distracted by those zealots. Zoun's still building up now. Again, Zoun, he is like barely holding on here, and things are looking a little bit bleak for Zoun, but he has Novas. He has Disruptors, he has Novas. He can pop off. He can still take a fight. A lot of it will come down to how well he controls, and again, how well GuMiho doesn't split. Zoun is still being active. Alright, guys, Observer does spot the army. Zoun is aware. Here come the Novas. Up, up, up. Oh, not quite. Close. Zoun zoning away. Pulls back. Does rotate from here. Diving on the CC. As we do force a recall, the army gets across the map, takes down the Disruptor. Disruptor goes down. Novas, ooh, do crazy army. Not bad connections, but where's that recall? Where the Colossus? Ah, they recalled over towards the 4th. Zoun, he responds. But GuMiho sims in, takes out 1, takes out 2, takes down almost 3 Disruptors. And he just stands and fights. Yeah, just going for the dive. Commits into the army, takes down the final Disruptor. Doesn't quite get the Colossus though. Oh! Doesn't get the Colossus. Zoun once again does hold on. More reinforcements have arrived. Zoun barely defending against the first army. Here comes the second. Denies the warp in. Going for the Nexus. Zoun though, keeping up. Nexus goes down real quick. Jeez. Wasn't expecting it to, but does fall. Did you see that graphical error? Jesus. The shades. Zoun does force GuMiho back. GuMiho coming back in from there. Catching out a handful of zealots. Takes Novas to the face. But alas, he will attempt to get the Disruptor, and he does get it. Disruptor goes down. Once again, Zoun still on 0 Disruptors. Catching out GuMiho, getting a Medivacs, getting 2 Medivacs even. Not bad. Getting all 3? Not quite. Despite that does shut down the army. We're getting a little bit scrappy here. GuMiho is double expanding, is getting his 4th and now getting a 5th base as well. GuMiho is still maintaining a better economy here. Once again, building up his army. As I did say previously, Zoun with this Disruptor count that's building up, I mean, he does have potential as he's also double expanding. The double expands. But Zoun needs time more than anything. He needs time. Zealot comes in, hoping to distract GuMiho. GuMiho, he does turn around for a moment. He responds. Pivoting towards the middle of the map. Oh! Zealots forcing friendly fire. 7 SCVs going down, not bad. For a handful of Zealots. GuMiho is looking for another way in. He's rotating. Likewise, Zoun has a comparable army size. I mean, mainly Zealots. That's a lot of charge lots. And not too many Widowmines and no EMPs here from GuMiho. No shot. Zoun, can we take this fight? He dives in. He's going to chase us down. At least he tries to. Does shuffle his army. Zoun rotating over towards that 3rd. Liberators have arrived. I'm a little bit in shock here. No Ghost Academy. Yeah, no Academy for GuMiho, which means no EMPs. These Zealots, then, they can be quite useful here. They can be quite effective if there are no ghosts to worry about. Again, no Widowmines either. The armies, they pass by each other. Zoun going for the 3rd. GuMiho going for a massive counterattack. Trading a base for a base. And do we commit to the base trade? And do we keep going? Takes down the 4th for the 3rd. SCV's going down. GuMiho, he doesn't turn back around. He commits. Other Disruptor. Catches a free Disruptor. Takes down another Nexus. Disruptors are racing back home. Hopefully Zoun doesn't throw them all away. He notices. Getting ready for the Nova. Nova goes up. Up. Ooh, good connection. Takes some orders, and Zoun, he's coming back. He's racing back home, recalling into the main. Bold move. Does recall, charge ultra in position. Disruptor's coming in as well. Nova goes up. And forces the pickup. Without Zoun, he defends the main. Oh, at least he tries to. GuMiho, he does keep pushing. Dropping back in. Pulling back out. Behind this, GuMiho on 51 SCVs. May have lost one expansion member. He double expanded though. He has 2 planetaries up and running. GuMiho still has the better economy. His production was untouched. And Zoun is down to 32 probes. Oh. As he does take down the lib. But again, barely an economy here. GuMiho does come out better in the base trade. He does pull back around. Here it does bounce back. It's going to be rotating. Zoun moving in. Nova goes off. These Novas, they still have potential. Liberator leads a siege. Ooh, Novas do not quite connect. Towards the end, they do. And Zoun, it's all or nothing. All or nothing for Zoun. Alas, no more Novas, no more Colossus. And GuMiho, he takes a fight. He stims. And he wins. He shuts down the army. GG gets called. And GuMiho, he will take game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. The base trade was probably the best chance, the best option for Zoun to try to bounce back in that game and to try to have a chance at actually taking a game or bringing it back in that first game. Again, it was just behind. It was losing bases, losing economy. He was just perpetually behind in set economy, and GuMiho was able to maintain that lead from there, take it in the end. GG. GG, well played. GuMiho will take a lead, but that was merely only game 1. As a reminder, best of 5. Best of 5 here between GuMiho and Zoun. We're ready for a back and forth. I'm hoping for a back and forth. Up next, Frostline as game 2. Let's go. A much larger map in the map pool. Very large map. Very open as well. We're able to experience some of these otherwise vetoed maps in an extended series like a best of 5. I'm here for it. I am ready for it. And here we go. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of Frostline, we have the blue Terran player from South Korea leading the series 1-0. It is GuMiho. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the red Protoss, who down in the series, but it's the best of 5. We got more games ahead of us. We'll see if he can bounce back and tie things up. It is Zoun. We go. We go. Nice to control this game by GuMiho. Yeah, I mean, GuMiho, he played it out very well. He was able to, I mean, we spoke earlier, winding it back a little bit, GuMiho did start things off with a borderline 2 base all in, like a very delayed starport, very delayed third TC. He was very committed on 2 bases, and he achieved so much damage with it. If you recall, with the first 4 tank push, where he was able to just out-trade his opponents, able to deal critical damage. He killed, what was it, like 16 probes? He killed 16 workers in the natural with that push as he got into the mineral line. And for that moment, GuMiho, he took a lead. We saw that Zoun, he almost bounced back. I was very concerned, as I was pointing out, that GuMiho did skip. He skipped Ghost production. I want to emphasize that he skipped it because, if you recall, he was actually working towards extra starports and a fusion core into Mass Liberator. Like, he was going bio into Lib, skipping Ghost, which is crazy. And it did mean that Zoun, he had potential with his army, but, I mean, in the end, GuMiho still overwhelmed. GuMiho still maintained himself. And we'll see where this leads us here in game number 2, as GuMiho does open up once again, double gas into a faster factory, into a delayed CC. Now, we saw that last game this led into a second and third racks into, I mean, again, the dedicated push that we saw out of GuMiho with 4 tanks, and he pulled some of the boys as well. I don't expect to see that here, though. The reason for it, I mean, on the one hand, it's typically not ideal to rely on the same build 2 games in a row, especially at this level of play. We expect Zoun to be better prepared for that kind of build, but more importantly, the map itself. The map itself is larger than ley lines, longer rushes and spike round, so in general, all-ins or committed move-outs like that are weaker on Frostline. As the first Reaper does move out across the map, and GuMiho back at home is going for a CC on the low ground. Opening up Reaper Hellion, investing into a third Reaper as well. Interesting. Is going to be committing a little bit harder. Oh, hello, get ya quack, pappy quack. Ah, good to see you. Get that. Zoun does move out. Oh, getting across. Likewise is going to be cleaned up. Does get eyes on at least the Master Reaper Hellion, and Zoun fully walls off. he wants none of this. Does fully wall up, is secure here behind the wall. Ideally, Zoun does want to cancel this gateway, doesn't want to let it finish. But he's just buying time for extra warp ins. Buying time for warp gates specifically. There's that secondary wall. There's a cancel. Warp gate is now done. Needs a little bit more time for extra warp ins. Oh, that's a kill. Oh, that's a kill on a cancel. And GuMiho, he does bust in. It breaks through. Takes down the Stalker. Zoun being greedy. There's the warp in. The army does bust through. And it looks like we're getting some probe kills. Yeah, Hellion shot to be going up. 3 workers going down. Decent damage here by GuMiho. Killed 3 workers. Killed the shield battery. Denied mining time. Boys are being pulled. Getting a 5th probe. And a full scout. Nicely done. And again, Zoun, he was being greedy. He was waiting for warp gates. He could have made a 2nd unit to defend, but he only made the 1 Stalker. Just the 1 Stalker, and he refused to make anything else. And with that, GuMiho, not bad. Gets damage done. And he's not done either. Going for a follow-up mine drop. Mine drop towards the natural. Zoun moving out. Oh, I should also add that to the title. Hold on. My apologies. Go. Zoun does push in, knocking down the bunker. Takes down the bunker, but ooh, we are trading out Stalkers though. Some rough losses at the same time. Mine shot is going to be coming in. 1 towards the natural, 1 towards the main. Can GuMiho save it? He can! Saves Water Mine. 3 probe kills for 4 SCVs. But Zoun, he has Blink, and he does have high ground vision. Diving to the main. GuMiho, he's not sieged up with the tank. Yeah, tank is unsieged. GuMiho getting caught out. Trying to respond. Losing 3 SCVs. Oh! 3 workers going down. Losing Marine as well. Some nice pickups here by Zoun. Nothing major, but some nice damage nonetheless. As Zoun pulls away, doesn't lose the Stalker. Zoun doesn't lose anything. Rotating back over. This time GuMiho is ready. The tank does siege. And GuMiho is that much more secure. Whew, okay. So with that, we are going to be looking to stabilize here. So GuMiho is getting into his own stim. 2nd tank. Bio is amassing. And Zoun is going to have a hard time finding any more damage here. Can try to get behind the gas geyser though, as that is out of range of the tank. Yep, he's going for it. Ooh. Does get behind the gases, gets 1 SCV. Prism into the main. He has Zealots, he wants that tank. Well, that's GuMiho is ready. And GuMiho is secure. Is secure at this point. Stem is finishing up, combat shields as well. Behind this, Zoun expands. He's containing his opponent. That's the goal here. Just contain GuMiho for as long as possible. And try to take an economic lead instead. And Zoun is getting there. He's going to be getting there. GuMiho searching for that prism. And now we can calm things down. When it comes to Zoun's setup, he is intentionally going to be avoiding splash damage for the time being. He's going into massive mortal production into charge. It's a very safe way to play. What I mean by that, as GuMiho is going to be pushing out. Jeez, that's going to be 5 tanks. As he does break free. Third CC is halfway done. GuMiho is expanding. Tank is still very low though. My shot goes off. Very nice catch. GuMiho shutting down the army. What I was going to say is that instead of these immortals, we could have seen a Bay into Colossus production. Speaking of, Bay is now on the way, but the Bay is far later here for Zoun. We'll see if he can hold. Now, immortals are ideal when it comes to focusing down tanks. Zoun does have an army. Is it enough though? At the same time, drop in towards the natural. Zoun trying to distract. Boys are being pulled. Not many reinforcements here for GuMiho. SVs are going down. Oh, lands a missile. Missile goes off, both of them do. Oh my god, just covering the entire army. And Zoun, he cannot engage. Not into 5 tanks, not like this. Deep house the robo. Despite the Bay finishing, there's no Colossus. And Zoun has to wait at that missile. He's going for the dive. Oh, he tries to. Not quite able to though. There's the recall to try to come in for a concave. The Bio army can just stim in. Charge, forcing friendly fire. Oh god, but the tank shots, oh my god. The 5 tank setup, it's too much. GuMiho is just pulling Zoun apart. Zoun trying to hold on, rebuilding the robo back into the main. Or back into the natural. Zoun collapses in. I mean, it looks like GuMiho is running out of bio. There we go, guess what? He gets 3. He's going to clean up all the tanks. Zoun breaks out. Whew. Does barely break out, but reinforcements have arrived, and GuMiho can just keep going. Against him, he can win. Catches the Stalker. Picking up, dropping into main. Let's head towards the main base. Is getting somewhat caught out. Zoun trying to keep up. GuMiho still just rallying across the map. He's not stopping. He can't stop. He won't stop. Oof. Deep has a good chunk of the production here. Even going for the cyber core at the same time, reinforcements towards the third. The third is exposed. GuMiho just looking to pull Zoun apart. Zoun same time, he has that war prism. Still has it. Did kill a lot of SCVs. What was that, like 16 SCVs going down earlier. And GuMiho, he doesn't hit the third base. Doesn't hit it. He could have. But for now, playing it safe. Plays it safe. Pulls back home. Zelts across the map. GuMiho, he does find the War Prism, and he responds. He's going to chase it down. Able to zone it away. Whew. And we can breathe. We can calm things down. Zoun attempting to stabilize. Again, I mean, his immortal count was reset, essentially, down to 1 immortal. Colossus production was delayed. Extent of Lance was delayed as well. So Zoun still has some recovering to do. Back at home, GuMiho, he was not all in, but he did lose a lot of SCVs to the Zealot harass. You can see here 23 SCVs going down. So a lot of workers did fall to the harass. GuMiho not as ahead as he should be. I mean, still in a good position, don't get me wrong. And he's still being active, still moving out. Zoun does have some spot of Zealots. Does see reinforcements on the right-hand side. You can see Zoun responding to this army. We spoke earlier at the start of Frostline how this map, I mean, it has exposed 3rd and 4th bases. You can see that here. This 4th base and the 3rd, they're so far apart from each other. Scan at the 3rd. Zoun is trying to respond. Army comes in towards the 4th. Zoun trying to split up. He splits off a couple of units. And we'll see if he can hold. Oh. Zoun does dive in, forcing GuMiho back, and GuMiho he actually doesn't commit. Pulls away. Oh. Does pull away. GuMiho is going to be the first to max out. Likewise, War Prism is still online, still active. Disruptor production has begun. Second Robo's on the way. Zoun making one Disruptor at a time. Can he recover with Novas? Anything is possible. Anything. But he needs them first. Here we go. 2 Disruptors. He has 2 Disruptors. War Prism. Oh, sorry. I should say Zealot Rama still being active. GuMiho getting in position. Looking for a way in. At the same time, wouldn't mind jump here towards the middle line. Pro's going to be going down. Here come those elves towards the third. GuMiho does have reinforcements. He defends. GuMiho keeps up. Rotating with the main army towards that third. Zoun likewise trying to keep up with those rotations. But GuMiho goes for the dive. Base is exposed. Never goes up. Up. Takes some 2 Marauders. Not bad. Widow Mines are resetting. The cannons do finish. Mining has been delayed for quite some time. GuMiho is maxing. But can he break this army? Can he pull Zoun apart? Likewise, Zelte coming across the planetary. 4 base versus 4 base. Both armies are maxed. And so far, Zoun is keeping up. GuMiho catching a couple of Zealots. Reinforcements towards the top side. 3-3 on the way for GuMiho. I believe once again, no Ghost Academy. Yep, no Academy, no Ghost. Getting the hell out of here. Does pull away. Doesn't engage with the main army. Speak also. Catching out Zealots. Zoun very much so out on the map, out of position. But he pulls back in time. Zoun, he was maxing out, but he has bled out a lot of gateway units. Zealots, Stalkers. Has preserved his high-tech army, true. The Disruptor count is building up. 5 Disruptors. Soon to be 7. Up. As the Medevac gets caught. Zoun, he will clean this up. GuMiho trying to come in from behind. Sims in. Oh no! Ooh, Nova gets 1 Marauder. Nice splits. Avoids the Novas. But GuMiho, he cannot dive in. The Novas, they zone him back. Zoun on the chase. All it takes is 1. Oh. All it takes is 1 good Nova. Haven't gotten it yet. But Zoun, he's in this. He's in this game. +3 about to finish. Once again, Fusion Core on the way. Once again, GuMiho is skipping that Ghost Academy. Just going straight into Libs. Does feel risky, but let's go. Can be a way, of course, to zone away this army and to counter the Disruptors. Unlike the previous game, this army is not as Zealot heavy, so actually I think I prefer going into or skipping Ghost a little bit more this time, as opposed to the last game. Zoun now taking a 5th. GuMiho has eyes on it. Getting shut down. GuMiho moving in. Again, there's still 7 Disruptors though. Oh, a little bit trigger happy. Let's go up teasing connections. Notice they will connect. Oof. Bitter towards the end. And GuMiho, he plummets in supply. He had 200 down to 130. Oh my god. And now it's go time. Send it. Keep going. GuMiho takes Novas to the face. Does force a cancel. Lib range on the way, but no Liberators yet. And GuMiho, he's vulnerable. Zoun, he does send it across the map, going for the 3rd. CCs are denied. Pushing towards the bases. GuMiho, he needs more time. His army's stuck out on the map. GuMiho, he's in trouble. He's in trouble here. Liberators finally do make it. But is it too late? Zoun, he goes to the dive. He gets 1, gets 2, gets all 3. 3 Liberators go down. Pushes through, GG gets called, there's not enough to defend, and Zoun, he ties up the series 1-1. Whew, GG. Oh my god. GG, well played. Zoun in a rough position in this game. He was behind, he did lose most of his army, he lost a bunch of his economy as well, but what's important, if you remember, was in that initial defense against the 2-base push of GuMiho, he was able to move out with that War Prism, he was able to get some economic damage, he was able to kill 16 SCVs, that did keep him in the game, and he never lost his 3rd base either, he never lost the expansion itself, so he was able to recover, more importantly, get up to those disruptors, and we saw once he got a high enough disruptor count, GuMiho couldn't quite push in, and GuMiho, he was having a harder time actually pulling Zoun apart and actually catching him out of position. I do think there were opportunities. There were opportunities to catch him out, but GuMiho, he was, for the most part, being kept up with. Zoun, he was keeping up with rotations when it mattered most, and in the end, Zoun, he stabilized, fall back. GG. GG, well played. Whew, we're tied up, and now we're making our way into Game 3 to determine who takes a lead in this series. Will it go in favor of Zoun, in favor of GuMiho? Let's find out. Who will gain momentum as we're loading into Ultra Love? Let's go. Let us go. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ultra Love, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran, being forced into a tied series. It is GuMiho. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Red Protoss player, the Red Protoss himself, tying up the series. It is Zoun. We go. Here we go. Whew, okay. As we're settling into Ultra Love going to be a smaller map in the map, or smaller than Frostline. From here we can potentially settle into a longer game state. Smaller map, but more defendable is what I will say. More defendable 3rd base, defendable 4th base as well. We have ramps, we have choke points, we have indestructible towers that can be knocked down to fully wall off locations. So we'll see if GuMiho maintains an aggressive stance here in this series, as he has been the aggressor time and time again. He has been the one in the face of Zoun. We'll see if that trend continues. Once again, double gas opener, delayed CC. We have yet to see GuMiho open up economically, it just hasn't happened. Just has not happened. We'll see if we calm things down. Hello. Okay. Zoun is just going to be scouting, skirting around the edge of the map, avoiding the Reaper. GuMiho gets across, diving into the mineral line, but is going to be zoned away. To hold, to defend. Reaper is deflected, and we have our take of choice once again, Twilight Council. It's just been Zoun's go-to, Twilight Council into Blink. We have seen Zoun mix it up on larger maps to go into a Stargate opener. True, we saw that in Zoun's series against Clem, but that has not been the case here, not yet. Potentially, if we load into, I'm unaware of the vetoes, but if we load into Abyssal Reef or Neon Violet Square or King's Cove, that's where we could see Stargate play become a little bit more viable. Amygdala as well. Some of the larger maps of the map will. Until then, we're settling in. 2 gateways here at the Natural. It's going to be a 3-gate Blink setup. 3-gate Blink here by Zoun. GuMiho pulls away. Does pull away, building up his tank count, early medevac, early push. Yeah, I mean, it's GuMiho. It is going to be an aggressive build here, going for an early tank drop, and we'll see if Zoun can keep up. Behind this, going for a safety robo first, taking double gases before expanding and getting a third. Bear that in mind. So Zoun being a little bit safer. I'm sure GuMiho was hoping that Zoun would be expanding. Does catch out some of these stalkers. Okay, 2 stalkers going down for the Cyclone. Every unit counts, he wants one more. Oh, and he gets it. 3rd stalker goes down. Rough trades here for Zoun. Very rough trades. Down to 4 stalkers. Has to pull away. GuMiho pushing his way in. Diving on that pylon. Stalkers are coming from behind, but the tank it will siege. Oh, and the pylon. Blink! Blink is going to be denied. Oh, massive pickup. Blink is not going to finish, but we do catch reinforcements. Reinforcing tank does go down. Massive pickup. Zoun catching out the army. And with that, this tank is exposed. It's on its own. And there's a handful of Marines, but it shouldn't be enough. Zoun should clean this up. Once again, reinforcements on the way. A very, very scrappy fight. Tank falls. Whew. And Zoun holds. Zoun does hold. Twilight Council is repowered. Drop into the main. Gets a probe. But gets cleaned up. And even though initially it was looking good for GuMiho, looking at the trades here, looking at the unit slots tab, 2 tanks, medevac alongside all of the army here for what exactly? Did delay the tech. Did trade with stalkers, but was hoping for more damage. Again, that was an expensive trade for GuMiho. 3rd base on the way for Zoun. I mean, fortunate as well that Zoun, he was delaying his 3rd intentionally. Then she has arrived. No cloak. As the Banshee does fall. Snipes the Banshee. Banshee was able to get 1 probe. A handful of probes, I should say, but not quite worth it. Not here for GuMiho. Behind this, pulling back. That's a lot of Axes. This is turning into a 2-base all-in. Jesus. I know the GuMiho has been aggressive, but typically by now we'd see a 3rd TC. Basically, instead of the 3rd TC, 2 more Axes. And do you see what I see? No add-ons. No add-ons here from GuMiho. So he's committing his way 5 rack setup. Into stim, into combat shields, into +1. There is an observer. Trying to get a read on things. Zoun is being active. The observer barely does miss a drop. That makes a slip out. Zoun likewise being active. And we'll see if GuMiho pulls the voids with this. As he's trying to catch out the stalkers. You see GuMiho coming in from behind. Hoping to force a blink. Zoun recalls back home. Doesn't like what he sees. Yeah, the observer did spot the army. Zoun makes it back. As a Colossus. GuMiho, he needs to try to get critical damage with this army. He's going for the 3rd at least. 3rd TC going to be on location. Very delayed 3rd for GuMiho. Assuming he even gets one. We'll see. There it is, just now starting. Very late. Oh! Full medevac goes down! Aye. Full medevac does fall. Massive pickup. Army dives in. The tanks are exposed. Medevacs, I mean, there's still Marines in the medevacs have to unload. GuMiho rotating. Does rotate, boosts over. Zoun missing the rotation. Uh-oh. Zoun already, he's out of position. Completely out of position. Tanks to siege, base under fire. Taking a lot of damage. Zoun getting ready for the concave. Does push in. That StarCraft prank out of GuMiho, gets one of the Colossus. But Charge will take dive in. And Zoun, he's going to clean this up. Takes down every single tank. There's still one Colossus left over. And Zoun, he shuts this down. He defends. Ooh, takes down the full medevac. There's nothing left in this third TC. It might barely finish up, but it's not going to survive. It should not live. Should not get away. GG gets called. And Zoun takes the lead in the series. Whew. GG. GG will play it again. And GuMiho essentially going for an all-in. Essentially an all-in there from GuMiho. Oh my god. There we go. All-in from GuMiho did commit. And alas, he wasn't quite able to break through again. It was so unfortunate that he got caught out when he did, that he got caught out with his pants down, as he wasn't quite able to support his tanks, not with his bio at least. He wasn't quite able to. He was in the midst of transitioning and trying to drop into the main. So in that moment, Zoun did shut him down. Likewise, there was a good opportunity for GuMiho when he did rotate over towards the third base, but Zoun, he had plenty of charges by that point, was able to commit, able to break in. GG. GG, well played. Whew. As this leads us into game 4, as we're going to be loading into Amygdala. The pressure is now on GuMiho to bounce back. The pressure is on. And here we go. Spawning in the top right hand corner of Amygdala, we have the South Korean Terran player. The blue Terran down in this series. We'll see if we can bounce back and force the ace match. It is GuMiho. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the red Protoss, leading the series 2-1, one game away from advancing on into the final series. It is Zoun. Here we go. Now, as we said, a big shout out to Bitter11 in the chat with the Twitch Prime. Yeah, baby God, thank you so much for the subscription. Thank you so much for supporting. Hope you enjoy the content, the casting, and the StarCraft. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoy your emotes. And if you wish, you can join our Discord server. If you connect your Twitch with Discord, then you will gain access to the sub chat and replay packs. We do provide replay packs to our subscribers, where you can gain replays of some of the top players in the world and try to emulate them or cast those matches yourself. Can do so if you wish. They are available. For now, though, we're settling in. For now, we are settling in. For the first time this series, not a double gas. For the first time, not a double gas opener here. It is going to be a Rax expand out of GuMiho. For the first time, an economic opener by our Terran player. And Zoun confirms. He confirms no second gas geyser. He is aware behind this gate into Cybercore into expand. So standard opener here by Zoun. Going for the Cyber into Nexus. And Zoun does poke in, attempts to delay, does delay by a second or two. GuMiho gets a CC. And again, welcome one and all to Amygdala. We did mention previously that once we can load into these larger maps, we can see some variation here. GuMiho playing more economically, more greedy. Zoun likewise has the option to open up Stargate. We've been seeing purely Twilight Council and Blink-based play this entire series so far, but something like Stargate play is going to be an option. We'll see if he commits or if he just does what he does best and goes into Blink. As Blink is still a very safe way to play. Then he keeps that probe alive. Reaper moves in. Rotating over. Oh! Making his way to the main. GuMiho gets shut down. No scouts. And show us that take of choice. There it is, Twilight Council. No Stargate. It's going to be a Twilight Council opener. Again, just really safe here to open up into Blink. With this, there are variations of Blink, of course. You can go 2-gate Blink into a faster third, 3-gate Blink into a more delayed third base, or 4-gate Blink into something more aggressive. We're expecting like 2 or 3. Zoun does settle in. And GuMiho is going to be forced back. Behind this, getting to a 1-1-1 into a Widow Mine drop. Second Rax is on the way, into a third Rax. Standard setup by GuMiho. And with this mine drop, his goal here is to get some economic damage, and more importantly, to scout. To get eyes on how many gateways there are, and on the tech as well. Checking the vision, again, GuMiho, he is unaware. Doesn't know what's going on. So it's going to be on GuMiho to confirm. When mine doesn't quite go up, the last Zoun is aware. Does scout. Medevac has arrived. Zoun, he gets eyes on the Medevac itself. He's aware of the drop. There'll be 3 Widow Mines moving out, and Zoun back at home should be getting ready. Did spot it ahead of time. Stalkers and sentries are amassing. Zoun getting his third base. We mentioned earlier which kind of opener we're going to be going for. It's 2-gate blink. 2-gate blink into a third, which means less warp-ins and a faster third expansion. And again, openers like this are much more viable here on these larger maps, so Zoun being more greedy. Drop is spotted. Blink is not done. Whew. Blink is not yet done. Widow Mine waddling into the natural. GuMiho dropping into the main. Mine shell first Widow Mine does go down. Second one burrowing in. The last Zoun, he does pull away. Whew. Does pull back. Almost a nightmare. Oh my god. Mine shell goes off. Sorry, Nightmare just joined our Discord, so I had the Nightmare on the mind. Other Korean Protoss. But with that, Zoun holds. Zoun, he does hold well. Shuts down the Widow Mines and establishes the third base. Did force some inefficiencies here, or at least some lost mine time from the side of Zoun, but GuMiho falls back and can now focus on a longer game state here. Go for another drop. Oh, finds the Observer. Does find it, does shut it down. Bay is on the way for Zoun. Getting towards Bay, getting to Colossus production. Ideally. Needs more time. It's going to be on Zoun to try to contain his opponent. Gets behind the mineral line. Gets some SCVs. Oh. Gets the one. A bit of a rough blink though. He gets punished for it. A little hull damage on these Stalkers. Zoun, he should be able to... Oh no! Does escape. Does blink away. GuMiho, he commits. Boosting across the map, trying to catch out those Stalkers if at all possible. Who catches who? Uh-oh. The Medevac. No! One more volley! Medevac goes down. Massive pickoff. Yeah, blinks away. Saves the Stalker. Shuts down the drop. Ay. That's GuMiho, who wasn't able to react in time. Behind this, 30C on location. Does boost across, but he is spotted by the Zelnaga. Zoun knows. And Zoun is in position. Does rotate. Is ready for this. GuMiho double drop towards the third. And Zoun is not fully aware of the movement. Get out of here. GuMiho slips away. Does hit the mineral line. The last Colossus has arrived just in time. Takes down the Medevac. Ooh, Medevac goes down. Yeah, GuMiho, there's no escaping this. Ooh, lifts up one full Medevac. Gets 5 probe kills, but the Stalkers are ready. Oh my god. Whew. Almost brings down the Medevac. Does barely survive. Barely, but it's going to be stuck. There's no escaping here. As long as Zoun doesn't all army. He has Stalkers in position. And GuMiho getting a little bit desperate. Moving out with another double drop. Does move out. His third base getting saturated. Armory's on the way for 2-2. And we'll see if GuMiho can free up this drop. But now, distracting. Oh. Zoun going for the gold. I mean, it's difficult to maintain unless you have map control, and Zoun is looking to gain that. Looking to strip that away from GuMiho. Zoun actually just commits across the map, gets a medevac. Another medevac goes down. Speaking of, GuMiho still being active with that drop. Will be reinforcing. You can see how awkward it can be to defend both locations at once, the south and the north. Zoun trying to keep up. Still just building up his forces. That's a second robot finishing up. This should be for not just Colossus, but for disruptor production as well. So double robot here for Zoun. Goal base getting up and running. The pressure is on GuMiho. He's trying to punish this base, punish the expansion. Medevac did get away, by the way. Just hugged the edge of the map. He got out. Let's go. Is spotted. Drop is spotted. Here come those disruptors. And we did see on the ley lines what Zoun can get done with those disruptors. Let's see if GuMiho can keep up. Hey, for the first time this series as well, that is a ghost production. The ghosts are on the way. Let's go. As a reminder, in the previous games when we would get into like a 3 and 4 base setup, GuMiho would skip ghost production and go into liberators instead. That is not the case, not this time. He's gonna have those EMPs. Despite that, what I will say is that this army still is going to be vulnerable to these Novas. So it's still going to come down to the control. Go base getting up and running and check the vision. GuMiho, has he seen? Oh, he actually doesn't know. I had to just assume that he did, but GuMiho, he doesn't know the goal base was taken, so he doesn't know he needs to punish this. That needs to be active. Whether it's a drop play, multiple aggression, a main push. So despite being, I was going to say even in bases, 5th base is on the way for Zoun. So Zoun, he does have the economic advantage over GuMiho. Quite an economic advantage. Despite being even in workers. I mean, mules do help, but so does the gold. Zoun, he rotates, the observer spots the main army. GuMiho, he has his Vikings. Oh! Zoun dives in. Marshal goes off. Disruptor goes off, I should say, on the mines. Brings them down. Time 40 does focus down those Vikings. He gets one. The other gets low. Army zoned away. The CC is exposed. And the Novas, they just keep the army back. And the CC, it's going to go down. Massive pickup. As that is a kill. GuMiho supply blocks. Oh, the supply block is brutal. He cannot max out. Disruptor comes into, the Prism comes into reinforce. Nova's going up as well. Ooh, catching a ghost. Brutal pickup. GuMiho is up against the wall. Trades well against the Zealots. Disruptors, they're just biding their time. Building up their shots. And Zoun is reinforcing with more disruptors, down to 5. 5 disruptors available. Nova will not quite connect. The other 2 will. And match connections, ghost going down. Resets the ghost count. With that, no more EMPs. Prism does get targeted down. There's 2 Vikings left. Oh, is it enough? Barely takes down the disruptors. GuMiho, he holds, he shuts this down. Gets 1, gets 2 disruptors, but the others have arrived. Oof. Yeah, too many Novas. And GuMiho is forced back. He's going to be forced all the way back. He can't take this fight. Oh no! They're going to be cleaned up here. 1 Marine survives. GG gets caught. Nothing is left. And Zoun, he takes it. Zoun, he will take the series 3-1. Advancing over GuMiho. GG. Whew. GG, well played. GuMiho wasn't taking the worst fight, but as a reminder, GuMiho, he lost the 4th base. He lost the 4th base before the fight even began. With that, he was pretty committed. He was committed. He was falling further and further behind economically. He was able to at least reset the Colossus count and snipe some disruptors, but he just ran out of steam towards the end. The Novas were brutal, and with that, GG. Zoun does take it. Zoun does advance on. Oh boy. Zoun does advance on here into the next round, and the question becomes who will face off against Zoun in those finals. We are here to find out. As we are going to be setting up here. So we're just updating that bracket. As we switch the scenes over and catch up. Here we go. Ooh, so Zoun, he will take the initial best of 5 and advance on into the finals. And the question becomes, is it going to be a PVT finals or a PVZ? Oh boy, as up next we have a Bjorn versus Shin in a Terran versus Zerg best of 5. Let's go.